If we emerge from the pandemic unscathed but unchanged, we will have missed out on the full benefit of this unique experience.
I'm Andrew Sheffield. I'm from Ogden, Utah. I'm in the medical lab science major here at BYU.
My name's Abby Koyman. I'm a sophomore here at BYU. I'm studying exercise science, and I'm from San Diego, California.
Hello, my name is Luke Mitchell, and I am currently a senior in the public health program. I am originally from Baltimore, Maryland, and I started BYU in 2014.
I remember the moment that BYU told us that they were basically shutting down. I had just gone to the BYU gym. I was walking on the treadmill, warming up for a workout, and I got an email notification that basically was BYU saying, you get a 5-day weekend and then don't come back to classes. And at first I was super excited. I was like, yes, like 5-day weekend, like let's go. Like we finally get a spring break for once. But then after, a while and after the weekend, I was like, oh, this is real and we're not coming back to classes. So much was unknown at that point.
It started in the testing center. I was taking a chemistry midterm, and there were very few of us because they had spaced out every 6 feet or so with the different desks. And later that day, they said that tests would no longer be held in the testing center and classes would be online. During this whole time, I'm so nervous. What's my life going to be like? How am I going to proceed forward? And it was intimidating. The unknown was scary.
My initial experience with COVID-19 was actually getting it myself. And it was a really difficult experience for me because I got all the symptoms, and at that time, the information wasn't really all out there. And so it was really difficult to find a test, to get tested, to test positive. Whereas now you see that tests are really distributed more on a national scale.
When I was at the hospital one day, I bumped into my director. She was very stressed about getting the new COVID testing laboratory set up and running. She said the biggest problem was staffing. And I offered my help because of my extensive experience on BYU campus doing similar processes. Instead of doing DNA extractions, I would be doing viral RNA extractions. And because of my experience, she thought it'd be a great idea.
I wasn't sure I was going to come back to BYU. I kind of gave myself an ultimatum. I was like, well, I really liked Dr. Underwood's class, and he mentioned that I could possibly TA for him. And so I'm just gonna email him, and if he says that I can TA for him, then I'll come back to BYU. So obviously he said yes, and just a few weeks into the semester being a TA for him, he approached me and said, hey, I'm working on this COVID research project, and I'd love to have you join. And I was like, yeah, for sure, what's it about? What are we doing? And he said, so we're studying COVID in wastewater. And I was like, it seems kind of gross. I don't know if I want to do that. But I was like, yeah, like I'd love to, feel like I'm contributing something to fighting this pandemic that has just been so awful.
So COVID, not only did it affect me personally, I started noticing that it was much, much more difficult to find internships, find jobs, and nobody was hiring. All of a sudden, opportunities started to rise up in public health. One of those was in COVID-19 testing on campus. And so BYU had planned to test 20,000 students to make sure that everyone was safe going into campus. And they recruited us, and I actually started working in those first 10 days, which we were able to complete those 20,000 tests.
I am super happy with where we are at right now. BYU numbers are looking great. They are lower than they have been in a long time, and I actually just got my first dose of the vaccine just a couple days ago, which is awesome, and I just feel like I can finally breathe this, sigh of relief and feel like things are finally gonna change and finally gonna go back to normal.
I'm now in the medical lab science major at BYU, and I look forward to my future career in medicine. Everything I've developed so far will help prepare me for those experiences that I will have in my future career.
Although my initial experience with COVID-19 was really terrible, getting it myself, I've really come to understand that this pandemic is really putting all the knowledge I learned at BYU into practice. And it has really shown me how personally I can make a difference with public health in the world today.